Hi there. My name is John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie it to an item for the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer or the kids' room or the garage. You know how we do it. Thank you. Thank you for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way, and thank you for the love that you're sharing with your congregations, your kids, and your families. You are rocking it. Thank you so much. This is for the narrative lectionary, and we are looking at Moses and God's name. We're specifically, the springboard I'm going with is looking at you are standing on holy ground. So we're talking about shoes. We're talking about the kids' shoes. We're talking about those who come up and noticing the shoes. That's the springboard. Actually, this last Sunday, my children's sermon took a whole, a detour. You know how they do. And I had all planned. I had, we're on the Revised Common Lectionary, and so it was the, all the workers get paid the same, and I had a magic trick, and I was getting ready to do it, and kid walks up, and as they walk up, he goes, "Look at my shoes." And so we went with that, and we spent time talking about each of the shoes and about how our shoes carry us to all the shoes, even though they look different, carried us to the baptismal font, etc., etc. So this here, looking at, I'm looking at, you can either talk about the kids' shoes or you can bring a couple of pairs of your own. Maybe you have a pair of sandals. Maybe you have a pair of hiking boots. Maybe you have a pair of running shoes. Maybe you have a pair of dress shoes. All that. And so talking about the different shoes, but the fact is that the ground that we all stand on is holy ground. Because ultimately, when we look at it, and if holy ground is the ground that God created, then you are standing on holy ground. And what I love about that is that moves it into how we treat that around us, how we treat the earth that's around us, how we are stewards and caretakers of creation, and how we are caretakers of one another. That here, if we're standing on holy ground, and there's the burning bush, and there is the voice of God, and we're there, we can look all around us and see in everyone the image of God. We can see in our congregations and the people that are walking on the street, there goes Christ. There goes the image of the living Word. And as we stand on holy ground, and I love the idea, the removing of the shoes, and maybe talk about one of the springboards talking about when you remove your shoes. I mean, I don't really like to remove my shoes because I don't really like how my feet look. You know what? God loves my feet. And I take off the shoes, and I'm standing, and I can feel, if I'm on the beach, I can feel the sand between my toes. If I'm on the grass, I can feel the grass. If I'm in the mud, I can feel the squishiness. Hey, and talking to the kids about all this intergaging as well, I guess, but engaging with the kids, comment, and this is like the school has just started, and so many of our kids have new shoes, and so here's the other direction. So we partner with Love Inc. Love in the Name of Christ uses our upstairs for offices, and every year they do a Lace Up with Love, which they collect shoes. And what a wonderful segue that if you are collecting shoes for the community, and they collect shoes and then they give them to they don't hand them out, but they give them to other organizations that can give, like the high schools and the grade schools, so that kids who need new shoes can get them. And that's as a reminder that as we, you need to know your context, but like all of the kids that were here, they didn't have necessarily new shoes when we talked about it last week, but they had the shoes that they had on, they were shoes that said something about them. One kid had dinosaur shoes. The other kid had Crocs, but with a basketball and a hoop on it. One kid, our acolyte, had these colorful, amazing Doc Martin type of boots. And then Maddox, who's the one who said, "See my shoes?" And they were the running new shoes that you could, tennis shoes that you could run in. And I was like, "Oh, I bet you could run fast." And you could see, and I go, "But let's not do it here." And he was like, "Okay." But just playing. But they are standing on holy ground, and God claims them and names them as holy as well. So wonderful ways that you could take this. And if you are talking about God's name, you could pull it into the kid's name. You could talk about nicknames, and if they have a nickname. I have a nickname. My mom calls me Tune, and it's not because I sing, but when I was so when I was born, I was about 4 pounds. Yeah, I was tiny, and they would say that I was as cute as a petunia. Yeah, that's a tell me a little bit. And so my mom shortened it. So like I would be in junior high and high school, and she would say Tune, and that was short for petunia. So anyway, it's a nicknames. Many times nicknames can be a loving act, and then we can reclaim the names and make them loving if they're not. Anyway, 2 directions there, springboards. I hope this can be useful for your own children's sermon. Thank you again so much for your partnership in this ministry. Thanks for taking a little bit of your week and spending it with me in this way. And thank you for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You are rocking it. All right, peace. We will see you next week.